Hey all, this is Apurva. Welcome back to WeDesified. This is our 7th video in the Study in the USA series. We have already talked about the multiple steps you have to take during this journey in our previous videos, so please check them out if you haven't already. Today, we are going to talk about one more essential step in this process, which is called as LOR, that is Letter of Recommendation. So let's get right into it, but before that, please subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell icon so that you will be notified every time we upload a new video. Not many people give enough importance to the letter of recommendations, but they carry at least 10% weightage in your admission decision. Which means you should watch this video carefully and not make the common mistakes other people make. So the letter of recommendation, as the name suggests, is given by someone who knows you well or has worked closely with you and can endorse you for the school you are applying to. Typically, many schools ask you for 2 LORs and some may ask even for a third one. So it's usually one academic LOR and one industrial LOR, and the third one can be either. If you have no work experience, then you can take both LORs from your professors only. But if you have done any internship or have any relevant volunteering experience, then you can get an LOR from there too. Or if you are a working professional and it's been many years since you left the college and don't have many contacts from your college, then you can take both LORs from your company itself. But one academic LOR and one industrial LOR is a very good combination. As a part of your application process, the college portal where you will be submitting the application will ask you to choose a minimum of 2 or 3 recommenders based on the college requirements. You need to give recommenders full name, address, phone number and email ID. For the address and phone number, you can use the college or company's official address. The email is the only field that is really important here, as the college sends the recommender an email with a link to upload the letter. So you will have to inform your recommender before you give their details so that they would be expecting those emails. Otherwise, it can be a surprise. It is also important whom you choose to endorse you. As we mentioned initially, the person recommending you should be someone who knows you well or spent considerable time with you. Typically, it would be someone who you worked under, like someone in a supervisor or manager's position, or a professor with whom you worked as a TA or did a project or some research. So don't choose a professor that you took just one class with just because you got good grades in that class, or environmental science or a language professor if you're applying for an engineering school, or a colleague from your workplace. It should be someone who can assess your work with authority. Also, maintain good communication and cordial relation with that person, because if you're applying to 8 to 10 different colleges, then they should also upload the recommendation letters 8 to 10 times. Another common mistake people do is using personal email of the recommender. It is not advisable to use Gmail or Yahoo email for the recommenders. You should always use their official school or company email ID because it adds credibility. All companies have their own email IDs, so are the colleges nowadays. But what if your recommender doesn't have an official email ID or access to that email ID? It can happen if that person changes job or is a visiting professor or something. In that case, there is no need to worry. You can use the official letterhead and print your recommendation letter on that letterhead and ask your recommender to upload it. Generally, colleges notify you when your recommender uploads the LOR, or you can also check in the application portal. So make sure you follow up with them and get the LORs uploaded in time, since your application is not complete until you submit everything. So the next question is how to write an LOR. Some recommenders write the recommendation letters by themselves, but most of them ask you to send a draft so that they can review, make changes if necessary and then submit it. I know it's more work to write the LORs also by ourselves, but trust me, it's a good thing. Since then, you will get a chance to highlight all the things you want to in the letter, which the recommender might not even remember, and write the narrative to emphasize more on your strong areas. So while you write the draft, you have to keep the following things in mind. First, it should be written from the writer's perspective. Like the language and sentences you use should be professional enough to sound like your recommender. Second, the recommendation letter usually starts with "to whomsoever it may concern" and followed by the purpose of writing the letter. Like, it is my pleasure to recommend so and so candidate to your prestigious university. And you will have to establish the relation between the recommender and you, and also how long and well you know each other. After that, you can move on to the body of the letter. The body is generally 2 to 3 paragraphs long and there is no actual word limit for the letter. Typically, LORs are about 1 page, but you can go up to 2 or 3 pages as well. Start with the things you would like to highlight and be concise with the information. Also, don't use generic statements. Instead, use anecdotes or real-life experiences. Like instead of saying he is hardworking or passionate, try telling the same with a real life example of where you went above and beyond to get the same work done. Like Dr. Agarwal said in his interview, they want to see that you can be successful in the grad school, and these things will help you to drive that point. You can also mention about any relevant social life or volunteering experiences in this. But make sure you are not repeating the same things again and again in all the recommendation letters or the things which you have already mentioned in the SOP. Every piece of writing should be unique on its own. Do not use too many superlatives like Trump. Check for plagiarism, spellings and grammar. Get it proofread for any possible mistakes. You can also use the concluding paragraph to subtly request for a financial aid or an assistant position. If you keep all these things in mind and avoid the common mistakes we just discussed, then you can really improve your chances of getting that dream admission. So that's all we have for today. If you have liked this video, then please subscribe to our channel. Let us know if you have any questions in the comment section. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.